every third Wednesday of the month, I give a display show at the senior center, and they come down. The seniors come down, and I have these albums, 4 albums of the different villages, and they go through them at their leisure. I supply magnifying glass so they can check them out very closely, and I have little inserts by the pictures of the postcard describing what they're looking at as far as the history is concerned. Some of them get tears in their eyes looking at things that they saw when they were a child. I've been here 54 years in Marshfield. Well, it started out in a very strange way. My wife and I were doing a flea market for an elderly lady that got in the hospital and couldn't maintain her show there, booth. And it turned out that another dealer right nearby was collecting postcards and selling them. And she kept showing me the cards and saying, "Look, this is from your hometown." I said, "Oh, isn't that nice?" And I bought them from her for about $1 a piece in those days, maybe $1 for some rare ones. And that started out to be a hobby. They had postcard shows. And down in Sandwich, they would have a postcard show showing all the postcards they could find from the whole world. And they had them categorized so that you could find out state and then by town. And we go in there and buy a lot of nice postcards. Basically, we're around $2 a piece, and then they, as time went on, they started ranging to maybe $10. And I avoided those if I could. Brant Rock was the most popular because of the hotels and the casino that was down in Ocean Bluff right next to Brant Rock, and a lot of the train station where it used to stop down there to go through the Marshfield Fair and continue on. A lot of interest in Brant Rock because it was a kind of a tourist area. A lot of them have lived here at one time, or they still do, and they want to see their neighborhood mostly. It's what it looked like 100 years ago. The value nowadays is very high. They go for $14, $15 a piece. Brant Rock House was a common name for it, which stood directly opposite the rock. That would be Lover's Rock, they called it in those days, and Brant Rock. In 1874, proprietor Henry T. Welsh served shore dinners and rented rooms and boats and bathhouses were there, and the building was torn down in 1938.
1909 on that Brant Rock one. Yeah. Okay.
And here's one here with the old antique cars. Model A's and Model T's, the same hotel. Postcard hobby of your own hometown is one of the most interesting things that you could pick for a hobby. Things that have come and gone, because I was always learning more interesting things. There was no end to interesting history that would be long gone. A lot of people have enjoyed this because they didn't know the history of the town as well as these cards show.